whether you're on a team or you're going to be starting a company together, your sphere, your circle means more than anything else, right? So if you get a bad vibe or bad energy from your team lead or somebody on your team, they suck the energy out of you, or your production is going to lack because they're not pushing you to the level you could be at.
Welcome to the Your Peak Life podcast. Let's conquer the summit of life and reach the apex of our potential.
Welcome back to another episode of Your Peak Life podcast. Today, we're going to explore and talk about the decision of picking the correct partners, right? Or position yourself with the right network. What is the strength of that?
Why are you looking at me first?
Because you are one of my strengths.
Just because I'm the bigger body.
Yeah, the bodyguard.
The bodyguard.
No, I mean you're absolutely right. I mean, picking the right partners is crucial, right, Eric? Because
100% agree.
let's talk about the OG in the room. I mean,
Right.
you started this company with Mike Little.
Yeah, and we had a third partner, right?
I didn't even want to mention it, but yes, you had a.
Yeah, I mean, let's go back from the beginning. Like, whether you're on a team or you're going to be starting a company together, your sphere, your circle means more than anything else, right? So if you get a bad vibe or bad energy from your team lead or somebody on your team, they suck the energy out of you, or your production is going to lack because they're not pushing you to the level you could be at. So same thing with a partner in a business. For me, it was a necessary evil, but people expose themselves the more you're around them.
There's a quote. Damn, who is it? And he says, trust people that are cheaters to cheat on you. Trust people who are liars to lie on you, right?
DMX said that.
DMX said it. That was a powerful little quote. But even for me, I would say I'm a horrible partner, not in a relationship with my wife, but as a partner, as a team in real estate, because I baby my wife, right? And I am actually hindering her progress. Because a lot of the stuff I am not educating her and pushing her like I should be.
Right.
Like I just acknowledged that like a few weeks ago. I was like, fuck, I am her problem.
So
I am.
So it's funny. I had this conversation with Danny on the team last night. If you're not pushing people to do their own business, like I felt like I've hindered their career because I've given and given and given. So if you become reliant solely on leads, at that point now you fail to do other steps in your business. And for them, I had to take a look back and say, okay, is this how I want to move forward? Because I want them to be successful. I want them to become future team leaders, start their own teams, so that as we grow, they grow, and everybody grows together. But if you just cater to them like a spouse would, you're hindering them for the future because you're just giving it to them, or I'll put you on here just because you're my so-and-so.
Right. Exactly.
And you have a similar type of thing.
Yeah,
like I don't know if you're hindering her, but
well, I think there's been situations where I have taken for granted that she's 21 and she just started real estate.
right.
I'm used to having experienced. I have Dion and Breon that were my aces, right? They've been in the game. I've trained them very well from the beginning, and I didn't do the same with Taina. I sometimes take it for granted because she's so outgoing and so witty, right? She's quick with it, that I haven't taken the time necessary to kind of home in on those skills and give her that training. So that's where my focus is now.
Right.
Is kind of, training her so that I can just kind of take a step back.
Now, going back to you, Eric, like obviously you got to experience that way before us as far as on a real business level.
Right.
You had a partner, didn't work out, all those other reasons, whatever happened. And then whatever later, you're here with me and Edwin now.
Right.
And it's like, what is that? How are you looking at it different now versus you needed the necessary evil now? Now you're actually don't need us.
Yeah, right. And you're picking them people. Like now moving forward, you're picking leadership and partners because they're bringing value to the table. Same thing as you would in a relationship. You know, when you talk about power couples or power groups, you want somebody that's going to bring an energy, a mindset, a resource, having certain doors open to you. You want them to combine forces because as a unit, you're stronger than if you went and attacked this world by yourself. And that's how we kind of looked at it. We sat down, me and Mike sat down. How do you feel about Edwin Edgar? Okay, here's the pros, here's the negatives, this is what we need to do. This is where they need to go. This is what we could use because they already have that. Obviously, people come from leadership backgrounds. You were in the Navy. You come with that leadership. Now, do you know the programs, the systems, how we do, and we've developed and we've learned together? I mean, obviously, nothing's been smooth, but we've learned that and we've grown together of the strengths and weaknesses. We've helped each other minimize our weakness and capitalize on all of our strengths.
Yeah,
I think that's where we benefited.
I often say that our strength in our particular our group, our ownership group, is because we're all great at different things.
Right.
Right? The things that I'm not good at, you know, Edgar and Eric are good at, or Mike is good at. You know what I mean? And we kind of balance each other off. A lot of times they want people that are similar to them, right? I want to all, you know,
Well,
Puerto Rican squad,
it's
right?
what you
Who am I?
gravitate to, right? 'Cause
Right?
You're comfortable.
Correct.
Right.
I gravitate to the same type of people up north, usually Latino, right? That's my crowd. But if you look at when I make a business decision, it's not it.
Right.
It's completely different. You know, the whole matchmaker team, we were all different.
Right.
Right. So I try to make those decisions. I don't want somebody like me. There's already one of me.
Right.
Two is too many.
Right.
Right. I'm too extra. There's no way. But I'm curious, for you, the loss of a partner initially, right?
Mm-hmm.
The founding members. And did that affect the ability to trust your new partners right away?
It does. I mean,
good point.
so yes,
Question.
it does, right? Like now, granted, that partner that left, I have a lot of love for him. We just didn't. It wasn't we couldn't do it. It was, you need to go your way, we need to go our way, but unfortunately, you get tainted by that. Now I'm watching your moves. I'm watching how you move. Why are you moving this way? Is your ultimate goal the same as our goals?
Are we all in line?
Are we in line? You know.
Yeah,
or
to be
do we
clear,
align, rather?
Eric has spidey senses all the time.
I do. Like, unfortunately, I keep saying it, and everybody's like, "There goes Eric. He's paranoid." You know, he's that guy. But then, 6 months, 7 months, a year, you have to look at the truth in people because they're telling you the truth the entire time.
Yeah,
whether you want to take it or not.
People show you who they are. We just have a hard time believing them
Because
because we want to make them the people we want them to be, vice who they actually are.
Or it's your emotional connection to them, or the friendship, part of that. Like, if you're friends with somebody, you don't see the flaws. Like so let's take Bam, right? Bam's my best friend, but he's watched me do a lot of whack stuff. And I told him, I said, look, we had this big argument. And I'm like, look, go find you. I had to go find me. And now we're even better friends because now there's that line in the sand where I won't allow you to do this and I won't be there to support that. It's like someone with an addiction. If you support their addiction, whether it's money or giving them chances and chances and chances, they're not going to change. If you draw that hard line and say, this is what I'll accept and this is what I won't accept, well, now it's one or the other.
And for you, like owning a business, what was that like? Like really thinking back, you're presented with an opportunity and it's like, okay, and it's not free.
Yeah.
It's pricey.
Yeah.
There's a monetary thing that you have to think about there. And a partnership you have to work with, right? And it's a 5-year commitment, 10-year commitment, it's a lifetime. Like, what is going through your head?
So first it was, I'm gonna tell you, initially it was like excitement and honor, right? Because it was something that I always wanted. But in reality, it was something I wasn't prepared for. What I thought was being a business owner is not what it is now with
Right.
a year and a half in experience. It's a lot more difficult than I ever thought. From the outside looking in, even before we were owner, and I'm kind of straight up with everybody, in my mind, I was going to go off and do my own thing, right? I was like, I can do this. I know so many people, right? Everybody likes Edwin. And then when I actually got exposed to the back ends, right? The communicating with the city, having the right paperwork, making sure that the staff is happy, making sure the staff is paid, making sure the bills are paid, right? Taxes, preparing for taxes, the ups and downs of real estate, the administrative and emotional bearing that agents give us, right? Like there's a lot of time. A lot of these things I never even took into consideration. I just wanted to be an owner, right? I want to be an owner. I want to own something, but I didn't know what it entailed.
Right.
Now, I think it was a good experience because me and Mike were already close. And then this last year and a half, me and Eric has gotten close. So, they see that I'm dedicated to this, and I think our friendships help us kind of learn from each other as a little bit easier. You and I, we've been boys since the first time, right? Since we met. We just clicked.
Right.
We're both,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? So it was exciting, but it was something I wasn't prepared for. And in hindsight, like I am 100% certain that it was the right decision for me. Right. It was the right decision. I wasn't prepared. What I would have done is I would have led my team down the wrong path because I wasn't ready. I just wasn't. Sometimes you think that I want to achieve this goal and I want to get this success, and you don't even understand what that entails, right? What comes with that. So, that's my perspective. Financially, it was hard, right?
It's a nugget.
It was a straight nugget, right? And I'm still recovering from that, to be perfectly honest. But it's also a fulfilling feeling to be able to say, yo, I'm good. I paid all my money. I'm an owner. My taxes are straight. I'm headed in the right direction. I know for the rest of my life, I never have to do that again, right? I never have to buy into Honor Valley or all the other ventures that we're a part of. So it's just, I think every year is learning the new level we're at, right? The first year, I would say it was just like learning. It was the year we got our broker's license. It was like, all right, now I'm an owner. It's not just, Eric and Mike anymore. Now we're involved. Now it's just kind of learning your role. And I think this year, going on to like 2.5 years, I think now is we've kind of all found our niche, our lane. We're all kind of comfortable with who we are, and we just got to stay focused on the path, and we're killing it.
Right. So Edgar, what made you decide that this was the right move?
For me was I always knew I wanted to do something like this. And I think I told you this before was, when I started real estate, I went somewhere, wasn't getting the guidance, so I went to the next spot, started the team, and there was like no energy there, nowhere to like really grow. So I was looking for that next spot. One of the things that stood out here was you guys were new.
Right.
So I was like, I get to witness this, learn. So strategically is why I was here. It was just like, and you guys were open to talk about business and all that thing. Plus, we did form a relationship.
Right.
And I was just collecting nuggets. It's like, okay, if I decide to do this, what does this look like?
Right.
And I've always been the guy. I'm going to go out there and price stuff, see what this is about. And even before that, I'll just throw something out there. Like I had always talked to Cookie from the beginning as like title companies, where's that?
Right.
So this was since California because it just hit. Like we bought a couple of houses and it's like we always got to go through title and escrow. Mm-hmm. And it's like everybody got to go through there. But long story short was when I was really looking at it, it's like I could go off on my own, build something, but there's a momentum here. So I'm going to give up this to grow with the momentum, right, and also be a part of something. If you're looking at it only monetarily, if this is just me speaking, if you're only looking at the dollars and cents, there's way more money in the future that's not being seen. Like if I'm looking at the now, at that moment, looking at the now is like, it's going to be work to grow something versus joining something and maybe like really growing our own little world. The relationships I didn't have because I'm not from here that you guys already had. Number two was I'm still, I believe, part of a culture and brand that's great. All the other stuff I was looking at was like, Right.
Yeah. It just didn't fit right.
It's just not it. So ultimately that was the decision. It was like, I felt at the time, I felt like I was giving up something, but there were personal goals, but those, I was still going to get that here moving forward.
Right.
Or that opportunity.
Well, I would say one major, like as recent as it is, Mike has COVID, right? And he's not around. We had so many things going on this week, right? And I know he's killing himself. He's driving himself crazy at the house right now.
Oh, yeah, he's nuts.
Right?
We got what's up, Mike?
Yeah, but, and I mentioned it to you guys yesterday, like I kind of approached it like, hell yeah. Right. It gives us an opportunity. We're going to rock this shit anyway.
Right.
And then it also gives that sense of relief.
Right. So someone's there for you.
That someone is there for you.
Right.
And that things are going to, continue and the business is going to keep operating no matter if any of us are gone, right? Of course, any of us being gone is going to impact us, but we have the ability to kind of pivot and still have the company functioning at a high level.
Well, and then both of you guys kind of hit it on the head, like you guys, one, trusted us, and then you mentioned it both monetarily. As we're growing, it's hard. It's because it's like, well, hey, I put X amount of dollars in, I've seen X amount back, right? Now, when you're 7, 8, 10, 15 locations in, that's exponentially faster than if you were to do your own thing at an independent brokerage with no backing, no national presence. It would take a lot longer. Not that those independents can't do it. Obviously, a lot of them have been very successful. But having the backing of multiple people, having someone with vision, having someone with the technical, analytical knowledge, and then having so many different personalities that kind of keep everybody online has been, for me, it's been reassuring. Because, me and Mike are very polar opposite people. He's very analytical. He's very, we can't do this, we could do this, we can't do this. And I'm like, we could do everything. This is what we need to do. But everything I bring up comes with a cost. Mm-hmm. But I've definitely been thankful that you guys have always been like, okay, let's really take a look at this and make an honest opinion about it. And it's a yay or nay from a group perspective.
Yeah.
Where if it was just me and Mike or, whatever came from that, what would that have looked like? If it was no tiebreakers, no multiple opinions, just mine and his opinion, I think there's a power in numbers too.
No, that's true. I mean, like if it was just, even looking back at just two partners, because I also looked at that, and I've always looked at that. Whereas the company that I started with was one of the biggest companies 6 years ago, and they had multiple partners. I believe it was 4 of them.
Right.
And then you look at other companies, and it's only 1 or 2, and it seems like they only can grow so big.
Right.
And then
it's power in numbers.
And then they just kind of evaporate, or they just kind of stay there. There's a ceiling.
They go stagnant, right? Well, I mean, if you think about it, because you're trying to get buy-in from your agents. Well, your agents are only going to do so much unless they're getting paid. You can't ask, if you have a team of 10 people, go push this brand. We want to get as big as possible, because it's like, let's be real. Agents are like, what's in it for me? Mm-hmm. If you have multiple owners, multiple spheres, multiple circles, you're combining things everywhere around, you grow faster and larger than a 1 or 2 person.
But I'll bring up something else. The other part, and we've talked about it as of recent, is the accountability part.
Right.
Like if I'm fucking up, I'm gonna let you know,
Right.
or you're gonna let me know, or somebody, right? Like where's this at, right? Those tasks that we're tasked, each one of us to do.
Right.
You know, everybody can slack off for a little bit, but it's always somebody there to tell them, like, why is it, like I just asked you, is the money done? No, we've been busy all day. I got you. I'm kind of done with everything I had to do. I'll take that part on, right? I know Mike is sick at home. He was going crazy. We talked. It was like, bro, we're already on that. Like, just chill the fuck out.
Right. Like, just lay there and drink some of that.
For him, it's daunting because yes, he is at home, but it's stuff that is still going to be addressed. We know it needs to get addressed, right? It's just like that reassurance, like, nah, man, we're working on it.
Right.
We already know. He's just not here how he usually is every single day. But if, to your point, it's like, hey man, have you talked to that attorney today, right?
Right.
Like it's that follow up, the money, who's talked to who, all the standard stuff. And then also, as of recent, like, you know, with like partners, you know, some partners, it just, their goals are not ours. It's just, and then they were honest with us and it's like, cool, no, we get it. You know, this shit is tough. Like
100%.
you got to be in it 24/7.
Right. Because what I've noticed with this too, like our first year was super profitable. And then I found out why it was super profitable, because things were being mishandled, done wrong. So yeah, it's hard because you don't have that instant gratification, you know, so it's hard to see the vision or say my vision is going to align with you in 5, 6, 7 years from now to really cash in, because with growth, you're not going to just get profits. You can't get profits with continuous growth.
Well, you take with growth, you're taking the profits and putting it back.
Yeah, you're reinvesting.
All money in, no money out.
Yeah, all money in, no money out. That's, you know, I personally, like, I seen the vision, like I seen us having, you know, 8, 9, 10 offices. I seen it, and it was more of all of us have our own network, all of us,
Right.
and we all have value in those networks. And then those networks have other networks. And I just knew that, you know, somebody, another owner of a brokerage, I don't want to put him out there like that, but he came up to me the other day. He goes, dude, it's hard to compete with the 4-headed monster.
Right.
Cool.
You know what I mean? And it is, because individually we could have easily, or not easily, but we had the capability of each having our own brokerage.
Right.
All 4 of us. We've all recruited substantial amount of people, right, that could have formed their own brokerage. But together,
Yeah, it's hard to beat for sure.
yeah, it's hard to beat.
Yeah, and even like one's off, the rest of them we're still on.
Yeah.
Right. Because I mean that's a good thing, because with the accountability, with the having multiple people, like Mike being sick, it just, okay, boom, you're there. We fix it. If you're down, depressed, if I'm down, depressed, it's a vacuum. It just gets kind of brought in together, and then you get back in the game. Someone's always there to say, get the hell up.
Well, and not only that, I mean, and the biggest part of this is the support from our admin staff.
Right.
Oh, yeah, we can't do it without that.
Lori,
Right.
Beth, Keone, all these ladies who are there rocking it out, making sure shit's done also before it even touches our table.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, even sitting on that Zoom with Lori, you know, she's always been saying about these, you know, these back end systems. Well, now I got to see it, and I'm like, that's dope. You know, like, it will work. That would actually be more efficient than what we're using, but at what cost are we willing to pay for that? You know, can we put that in our spreadsheet and say the profit margins are still going to be where we need them to be? You know, so it's definitely nice to have those heads, those ears, those minds all in unison. Helping us
Plus,
out.
it gives you someone, you know, to vent to.
Right.
Right? You have multiple business partners. You're all on the same level. Right? It as a company perspective, if me as an owner is, you know, voicing my frustrations to anyone else other than the owner, it impacts the company in a
100%.
negative manner.
Yeah.
So that's a big benefit of, picking the right partners and making, the strengths in numbers. Because, I mean, everybody needs a person to talk to. And, of course, we have our spouses that we talk to. But do they really understand?
They're there to support us. Like, I think all of our spouses will actually tell us that we're fucking wrong.
Yeah, facts.
But at the same time, like, how far could you dig your heels in that conversation without now you're breaking the trust of one of us? Or because there's certain things I won't tell Jackie. Like, if we have a conversation, it's just like, that's none of my business. That's here. It's separate.
Well, going back to like your first partner and everything, and then you guys are even deciding to like pick partners. Like, is there something different you guys would have done? Like now that you have some wisdom,
I would go with my gut instinct every single time.
Okay.
I feel like every time I've voiced my opinion about a certain subject, it's come out to be true. And it's not because that's in my mind and I'm not making these up. It's just, if you could see the writing on the wall, sometimes you have to trust that instinct. Because if you don't, it could put you in a spot where you might lose,
Yeah.
And then people tell you what they really want. Their actions are going to tell you what they want. So if someone wants a free ride, they're gonna show you they want a free ride. If someone's willing to jump in and get their hands dirty and bust their ass, they'll show that too.
But I guess that's it for Your Peak Life this episode. Please subscribe, hit that follow, like, and share. All right, guys. Take it easy.
Thanks.